Well, hello everybody. Today, a Splatoon, a lot of stuff got announced today. I'm a bit late to this debate as it dropped 4 hours ago and a lot of people have covered on it, mostly random people on Twitter. And I've tried to stay relatively offline most of today to not ruin my opinion. I'm not going to be doing a reaction because I already know 90% of what's already on here. Some of the weapon stats I haven't looked too hard at, but I was originally planning to show off a PNG tuber today, but that changed. This one right here. If I pull it up. Wow. Yeah, it's just that. Anyway, it's a big patch. Like a really big patch. So there's a new thing called a flow aura state. It's literally just opening Gambit. I think you get intensify, swim speed, run speed, and maybe ink efficiency if I read it right a while ago. I don't even know anymore. But it's pretty much just making opening Gambit unusable at this point. So they're either going to have to rework it to extend like a kill streak. So if you're already in a kill streak, then a way they could rework it is to make the kill streak last longer if you have opening Gambit on, or they could rework it to just still be the same opening Gambit, just less effective, because if it stacks on top of this, like, there's gotta be a swim speed cap at some point. Like, they can't just have, like, challenges with, like, the full stream ahead or whatever it's called, with the max swim speed challenge. If I go ahead and play this video, I'm gonna toggle this down. You can see that a little patch of ink is going up on screen there. So if I rewind, they kill them. Let's see if I can turn up this quality. Wow. Okay, that's actually really bad quality. It's fine though. So right about here. Huh. Okay, it's frozen. You good? Okay, I'm gonna need to reload Twitter. You can see a flow aura surrounds the player. They move forward, get another kill. It stacks twice. There's a little screen shake to indicate that you gained the second kill. And it paints under your feet. I think this is gonna be really important for weapons that don't paint as well, but go after kills. Like, Range Blaster. I have no idea what this patch is going to do for Range Blaster, but it's going to be a lot. It's going to do a lot for the weapon, I think. Will it do more than other weapons? Like 52 gal or Slosher? Probably not. Are shooters going to become meta relevant again? Yes. If it works how I'm thinking it's working, where it paints under your feet, whether or not you're jumping, and the paint increases with each kill, then S-Blast, regardless of the nerfs it got in this patch, which I'll talk about in a few minutes, is still really good. I don't think they've done enough to S-Blast to take it out of the current spot it's in right now. I still think it's one of the best weapons in the game. So from what I'm getting from this is that the more and more that you continue to get kills, it continues to paint more and more under your feet. You gain abilities from the comeback set of gear abilities, except the ink efficiency ones. So this is just straight up opening Gambit. I don't know what this will do to opening Gambit. And I'm honestly hoping opening Gambit gets completely removed. Because I don't think they can do anything to rework it. That just doesn't feel like a very Nintendo thing to do. So I'm just gonna go out here and say, I think opening Gambit's gonna be removed. But, in other news, Cooler is a lot less important now. Who knows how it's gonna stack, but currently this seems to give the exact same gear stats as Cooler, except quick super jump and special saver. That's the one. Special saver and quick super jump are the only ones that aren't with this, as far as we've seen. And I really have no idea how this is going to impact Cooler, but I'd have to say it's going to become a lot less needed in a comp. So before you could run like some coolerless comps. We've never seen any coolerless comps with like major tournament wins, but we've definitely seen some teams trying it out. But now I think coolerless is going to become a lot more popular, and it's going to be focused on, like, most team comps after this patch are going to be focused on chip damage and range. I'd say mid lines are benefiting the most from this patch because they can get kills at a distance, move in quicker, get more kills, and then just jump back out if they have cooler. Like, there's nothing that you can really do to stop them anymore at this point. Like, short rangers are just so much better after this patch. So, if I go back up, the SRL research team is proud to present new findings about version 11.0.0. The Flow Aura state is just this whole area. I'm assuming you've already heard about it, so I'm not going to get into how it works. But the bottom baseline is it's basically just opening Gambit. That's pretty much it. Another thing, they've added health bars. The health bars don't apply. Okay, so I'll just read this out. Further research shows that your opponent's health will only be visible to you if they're in your line of sight and only for a few seconds after they've been damaged. Opponents submerged in ink or behind cover will also have their health concealed. Which makes me wonder, does this work on Big Wall? I don't know. And we're gonna have to see that in 2 days and about 6 hours, I think? Anyway. So there's a health bar now. Not much of a change to the game, but it's gonna help a lot in competitive. I wonder how far away you can see it. Does it fade away like Stealth Jump, or does it just continue being there for a short bit? And it's visible from, like, everywhere in the map, so you can see when somebody's, like, damaged unless they're in ink or behind cover. In other news, they've also adjusted a hitbox. So the squid hitbox is, if I have to eyeball it, I'd say like 25% smaller, and then the inklings, I can't even really tell. Like, I barely see any difference there. So they're mostly just changing squid form. And then with Stealth Jump, they've changed it to make it slower. The flight time just takes longer. That's it. Which is good, but this is basically just entirely countered by having just, like, one more sub of QSJ. Because it doesn't look that dramatic from the video. I really don't know how to tell with this. Like, it doesn't seem to impact it much, but it's a good fix. Stealth jump has needed a fix. I still hope, same as Chara, that stealth jump is just reworked to be a base mechanic, but maybe in Splatoon 4. On to the patch notes. There's a lot here, so I'm just gonna go over what I think is gonna be important. First of all, there's bug fixes. There's a lot of stuff about Borellas, collisions. But if we go to points for special, they nerfed S-Blast by 10 points for special. I think it's alright. Not as bad as it could have been, but it's something. Sloshing Machine got buffed. That was interesting to me. Splattershot Pro, 190. I'm assuming this doesn't apply to the third kit, which is interesting because I've seen a lot of those in X lately. Just like a lot. A lot of Tintamissile spammers. Mini Splatling, because Hammer's now extremely spammable on that weapon, because Splatling paints a lot for like a short range to mid range weapon. Try Slosher Nouveau. It's back to the state it was in before it was nerfed the first time. But who knows what that's gonna do, because Cooler might not be usable anymore. And for new Squiffer, it's just 10 points for Zipcaster. 10 points less. Okay, let's talk about Nozzle Nose. To be honest, I don't think this really does anything for the weapon. It's gonna be a bit better, but it's not gonna change much. It's only really changing how much the weapon is gonna be able to fight, which isn't its main problem. Its main issue is movement and damage. And this doesn't fix any of that. This just fixes its paint and how fast it's going to paint. Like, they're not giving it much of an opportunity here. But with Dynamo, they have completely reworked the weapon. Like, I can't even explain how excited I am to test out Dynamo when this patch arrives. This is so close. From just reading this looks so close to Splatoon 1's version of Dynamo. Like, adjusted the damage fall-off rate due to distance to make it possible to deal damage of 100 damage or higher at greater distances than before. This means Dynamo's gonna be constantly getting one-shots. And with the new aura thing, you're gonna be able to stack, intensify, swim speed, run speed on Dynamo, which is gonna be consistently getting a one-shot kill at who knows what range at this point. Also, it says something about increased the inking of spray droplets from horizontal and vertical swings. It doesn't say how much, so this could be drastic, or it could just be literally just a painting buff to keep up with all the other painting buffs here. I have no idea, and there's no way of telling until the patch actually drops. And then there's increase the amount of ink consumed by horizontal and vertical swings by approximately 17%. This is definitely to, like, supplement the buff it got here. It's necessary. Otherwise, it would absolutely be overpowered. 17% isn't a lot when you think about that it's going to be getting consistent one-shots. So, it's not that much. Then there's Blaster, Nozzle Nose, Splat Roller, just small buffs. Heavy Splatling increased the radius inked by spray droplets from shots by approximately 12% and increased the radius of ink splatter at the point of impact by approximately 12%. So it's just getting a bit better paint there. And then Tetras. is actually getting a speed of approximately 19%, which means it's going to kill a lot faster. And there's S-Blast. They decrease the radius of the explosive damage for short flight distance shots by approximately 11%. And then Reef Slider has gotten a few buffs and nerfs. So first of all, it's increased the radius of the explosion that deals 220 damage by approximately 20%. That just means the area inside of it, not the actual outside hitbox. And it's decreased the radius inked by the explosion by approximately 7%. And the maximum distance of the charge, which means the time it's on the rails, or the longer the distance that it's on the rails, the longer distance that the rails go, by 19%. That's actually a lot, considering how long Slider can reach his own, which means you're gonna have to get up a lot closer if you want to do the cheese, and because of decreasing the radius, that's gonna make it a lot harder to do cheese. Which, I mean, it's fine. It's gonna nerf a few weapons like Dreadringer, but it's gonna make them better fighters, so it's pretty good change in my opinion. Because I never really used, like, Slider cheese, and with my current Dreadringer build, I find it just doesn't really get consistent caps, so I don't even really go for it at this point. So that's pretty much all the changes to the patches. Now, I'm going to switch over to Dynamo here, so I can demonstrate real quick. So Dynamo, it currently has a killing distance of about here. From this far away, it's not getting a kill on that. From here to here, it's not getting a kill. I think it's gonna make this do a one-shot now. That deals about 40. Up here, 50. Do you see how pathetic that is? At the end of its range? Like, you have to be smack in front of somebody to kill them. So I think that's gonna become an 80, and then this about range here is gonna be a one-shot. So from 74 to 100. Do they mean here is gonna one-shot? Or here? I really wish they did a change to vertical swings. They made it paint a bit more, and it's got some pretty pathetic paint, to be honest. It's just got this. It's just sad. And if horizontals are getting buffed, then verticals really should have gotten buffed. With the buff on all weapons, they said they were changing some of the hitboxes to be a bit larger to make up for making the actual player hitbox smaller. So, weapons like Carbon Roller might be able to do this now, where you swipe left of the player and it'll just still kill them. So, there's gonna be a lot more deaths in the latest patch. There's gonna be a lot more of an importance on short-range weapons. To be honest, I'm not sure that's a good thing. Like, I appreciate any help for Dapples, but Dapples was in, like, a really good spot right now. Like, you can play both kits, and they both do well in just, like, Solo X. And I'm scared for Dapples, because Nintendo will come and destroy Dapples the second they see how good it is. Also, I could just be completely wrong, and Dapples will be trash because all of the other weapons keep up with it now. Either way, I think Dapples is not going to survive the next patch. S-Blast is another thing to talk about. S-Blast is getting this nerfed. Not the long range, which it has been consistently getting kills with. The short range. I don't know why it's the short range, but they're doing it, and I don't think it's actually gonna do much to the weapon. There's other weapons, short rangers, decav, that are just gonna be able to keep up with S-Blast now that they have speed, and S-Blast is locked in a position where it can't, like, speed away from a fight, because it has some downtime after firing. So you can see this, I jump, try and run away. They'd probably already catch up to me by that point. And now with Dreadringer, it's technically getting a painting buff because of all of the hitbox changes. So Dreadringer is going to be a lot better because of Reef Slider being able to get the 70s, or the 70s less consistently and getting the one-shot. So there's not much of a change to Dreadringer as a main weapon, but I think with Slider getting a slight buff, then it's going to become a bit better, just in general. Most Reef Slider weapons are going to be a bit better, meaning Tetra, Dreadringer, and Dapples. Maybe even the vanilla S+ kit. Who knows, we'll have to see. The actual opening gambit thing, the whole deal. I don't know if opening gambit is going to be usable anymore. Before, it gave you, if you got a kill, you would immediately get, like, rewarded. And you could go in and get more kills. It put more of an importance on killing rather than staying alive, painting, anything. And that was really good for a weapon like 52 Gal. So I don't know how they're going to rework it, personally, and I'd love to see it just completely removed. That would be great. Anyway, that's pretty much all my thoughts on everything here. I'm going to be scripting a video and finishing that out in the next 2 days if I can. Otherwise, it's just going to be after the patch, and I'll probably include my thoughts on the actual patch in that video. We'll have to see. That's gonna be it. Bye.